Hey guys, YouTuber and Undertaker. Alright, now here I am, as I told you guys in my last video, with another Survivor Series leader review. And I told you guys in my last review that I wanted to make a couple of reviews in honor, with this Sunday Survivor Series being Undertaker's 30th anniversary with the company, and it will also be his final farewell to the company. Yeah, I said that did want to make a couple of Undertaker related reviews for Survivor Series, covering a couple matches that he's had at Survivor Series. Yeah, and the first one, like I said in my last video, this is going to be a review for the Undertaker's debut match with the WWF at Survivor Series 1990. Yeah, so this was like a Survivor Series elimination match with the American Dream Team. Is that what it was called? Yeah, the Dream Team. Yeah, which consisted of Dusty Rhodes, Koko B, Ware, and the Hart Foundation, Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart, versus Ted DiBiase, Rhythm and Blues, which were Honky Tonk Man and Greg Valentine, and yeah, also the mystery tag team partner, which was the Undertaker. Yeah, yeah, and yeah. So yeah, this match, yeah, this is probably this was probably like the best match at Survivor Series 1990. Yeah, I mean this was a solid enough match, I guess. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Survivor Series 1990 as a whole, it really wasn't really like all that good. I mean, not really horrible, but yeah, it really wasn't like all that great. I mean, yeah, the concept for the Survivor Series, I thought that yeah, the concept of the Survivor Series, it was um it was an interesting concept they had at the Survivor Series. The concept at the Survivor Series was that on the show, there's they had just several Survivor Series elimination matches, and yeah, the stipulations for every match was that the survivors of every match would then just move on to move on to compete in the main event on this show. Oh, in another Survivor Series elimination match to determine the ultimate survivors in the grand finale. Yeah, so yeah, this was an interesting concept. Like they had six matches on this show. They were like six traditional. Well, yeah, I guess I should say they were five traditional Survivor Series elimination matches to determine who would be in the grand finale Survivor Series elimination match at the end of the show. Yeah, so yeah, this was an interesting concept, but yeah, this was the one and only year that they did it, and yeah, it's not really hard to see why. I mean, yeah, this was a clever idea and it was an interesting concept, but yeah, it didn't really turn out too well, especially because in the main event, the sides they weren't even. Yeah, it was lopsided because you had it was a 3-on-5 of Survivor Series elimination match. So yeah, so so this so I guess this really didn't do that well, and yeah, people weren't really too crazy about this idea. So yeah, this was the one and only year they did it, and yeah, they never did it again after this. So yeah, interesting concept, but yeah, I guess really didn't it didn't receive a very positive reception overall. Yeah. As far as the rest of the card on the Survivor Series, yeah, like I said, the rest of the card, it really wasn't really all that good. The opening match, you had the Warriors, which consisted of the Ultimate Warrior, the Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich, and the Legion of Doom against the Perfect Team, which was Mr. Perfect and the three members of Demolition, Axe, Smash, and Crush. Crush, yeah. Yeah, which was, I guess, a solid enough match, yeah, which the Ultimate Warrior was the survivor for that match, yeah. Yeah, which was a solid enough match, yeah. Like I just said, then this match was up next with the $1 million team against the Dream Team, which Ted DiBiase was the survivor for this match. And yeah, this was a pretty good match overall, like I said. Yeah. You had the the Visionaries, which were Rick Martel, the Warlord, and Power and Glory, against the Vipers, were Jake the Snake Roberts, Jimmy Snuka, and the Rockers, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, which was it was okay, I guess. Yes, I mean, yeah, it wasn't really anything too special. I mean, you really think that this would have been like a pretty he in a good match, but yeah, this was just kind of like an all right match. Yeah, it was just like kind of there, and it doesn't really like stand out. Oh, yeah, yeah, but yeah, in this match, uh, the uh, Rick Martel, the Warlord, and Power and Glory were the survivors for the Visionary. So yeah, pretty much the entire team survived that match. Yeah. So yeah, they like totally clean swept the Vipers. So yeah, they all advanced. Yeah. Then the next one you had the Hulkamaniacs, which consisted of Hulk Hogan, Big Boss Man, Tugboat, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan against the Natural Disasters, which were Earthquake, Dino Bravo, Haku, and the Barbarian. Yeah, and this was another match that was okay. Hey, and stuff. I mean, yeah, given like all the big guys that you saw had in the match, I mean, you thought that like this looked like this probably wasn't really going to turn out that well. Oh, but I mean, yeah, it was all right. Right, yeah, I mean, you had like Rick Rude that was supposed to be on the natural disaster team, but yeah, just like a little bit before the pay per view, Rick Rude had actually left the company. Yeah, so so it was an all right match. I mean, not a classic or anything, but it was okay. Yeah, and Hulk Hogan was the survivor in that match. Yeah, then you had the Alliance, which consisted of Tito Santana, Nikolai Volkov, and the Bushwhackers against the Mercenaries, which consisted of Sergeant Slaughter, Boris Zukov, and the Orient Express, which, yeah, that wasn't a good match. Yeah, that match was pretty bad. Yeah, it wasn't a good match. Yeah, that was probably like the worst match on the show. Oh, and stuff. Yeah, I mean, it showed that Sergeant Slaughter, like, he had actually been the heel at the time. And yeah, this was just like when he was like the Iraqi sympathizer. And yeah, this was just like as his push was building up to becoming like the WWF champion and then like main eventing WrestleMania 7 and all that. Yeah. Yeah, and Tito Santana was the survivor for that match. Yeah, and then you had like the grand finale Survivor Series elimination match with Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, and Tito Santana versus Ted DiBiase, Rick Martel, the Warlord, and Power and Glory. Yeah, which once again it was an okay match, and Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior were the survivors for their team. So so on the show, like most of the matches were really okay. Hey, but yeah, a lot of them really don't stand out. And of course, like the Survivor Series is also known for having for this also was the show where you had like the hatching of the Gobbledygooker. Yeah. So yeah, that was like something else that this show was probably known for, the hatching of the Gobbledygooker. Whether that is a good or a bad thing, depending on how you feel about it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is down to personal preference. I mean, yeah, Gobbledygooker really was not really a serious character and really didn't do really too much. I mean, I really don't think that the Gobbledygooker actually did wrestle an actual match in the WWF, unless you actually do count like his participation in the gimmick battle royal at WrestleMania 17. Yeah, so yeah, the Gobbledygooker thing, yeah, that's totally up in the air whether or not you like it or not. I mean, whether like you are like seeing it as just like he's a goofy character and just served his purpose, or if you just think it was absolutely stupid. That's up to you. Yeah, but that's something else that the Survivor Series is also known for. Yeah, so but like I said, most of the matches were really okay. They don't really like stand out too much, but yeah, they did. But yeah, they weren't really horrible matches on here, except for like the yeah, the Alliance versus Mercenaries match. Yeah, the rest of the matches were at least like okay, with like the first couple ones being pretty good. But yeah, this one with $1 million team versus the Dream Team, yeah, this was the best match on the show, and yeah, it is also of course like known for the Undertaker's debut, yeah, which is really like the big highlight of the Survivor Series, and yeah, and of course like the Undertaker was like the first. Big superstar to really like make the debut at Survivor Series. And like there has been like quite a few like big stars in the company that did make their debut as a Survivor Series. Like I said before, like how The Rock did like make his debut with the company at Survivor Series in 1996. Kurt Angle made his debut with the company at Survivor Series in 1999. Yeah, and yeah, and of course, like Sting also did make his WWE debut at Survivor Series in 2014. Yeah, yeah, and of course, also even like the Elimination Chamber debuted at Survivor Series in 2002. So yeah, so Survivor Series has really been known to really like have a lot of like big debuts like that. Yeah, but yeah, this was the very first one with the Undertaker. Yeah, and for this match, like they really did make Undertaker look pretty good. Like they instantly really made the Undertaker a monster. Yeah, I mean, yeah, in this match, like the Undertaker was pretty much just absolutely unstoppable. Like Undertaker really did like was very dominant and over like the people that he faced in the match. Yeah, the Undertaker like eliminated like two people in this match. Yeah, and plus, yeah, the Undertaker wasn't like a survivor in the match, but yeah, they really did it in a good way where like Undertaker didn't like get legitimately eliminated. He just like ended up being like counted out, though it really was in a way that really didn't make a lot of sense. But yeah, I'll talk about that in a little bit. Yeah, but yeah, this was a pretty good match. I mean, yeah, given like who you really had in the match, that's like with the talent like the Hart Foundation and um Dusty Rhodes and Ted DiBiase and The Undertaker. Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, yeah, like I said before, like The Undertaker, like had competed in WCW earlier in the year. Like earlier this year, I reviewed the Great American Bash 1990, where The Undertaker was on it as Mean Mark. Yeah, and yeah, like I said, like Undertaker was just like in the WCW for about a year as with that Mean Mark character, and yeah, and the WCW really didn't really see much in him and just really didn't think he would amount to much. So yeah, they let him go. But yeah, then like he came to the WWF here and became like one of the company's biggest stars ever. Yeah. Yeah. So big. Big boo boo on WCW's part, right? Yeah, and yeah, like I said in my review for Great American Match, I just find it funny that they've made that mistake like quite a few times with like Triple H and Stone Cold and some others. Yeah, but here, yeah, this was like the Undertaker's debut match. And yeah, and it was a pretty good match, and they really did a good job of displaying him on his very first night in the company right here. So yeah, so overall, I really wouldn't really say that I would recommend watching Survivor Series 1990 as a whole, but yeah, if you haven't seen this before, I know like this is a lot of people would like really hold this in regard for Undertaker's debut, which yeah, that will probably like give you like a reason to watch it. But yeah, even like with just the match itself, it is pretty good. And yeah, and if you do want a highlight of Survivor Series 1990, yeah, I would say this would be the match to check out. Not just for the Undertaker's debut, but yeah, still with yeah the quality of the match itself. It was like overall the best match on the show. Yeah. All right. So yeah. So I guess I'll just talk about the match a little bit. All right. So yeah. So as the match started, you had like everybody being introduced, and then yeah, when like Ted DiBiase made his entrance, yeah, he was like the last one to come up before the Undertaker did. Yeah, Ted DiBiase then just got on the mic and then was just making introduction for the Undertaker, saying that he was being led to the ring by his manager, Brother Love. Yeah, and weighing in at 320 pounds from Death Valley. And then, yeah, he just said, I give to you the Undertaker. Yeah, and then the Undertaker then came out with Brother Love. So, yeah, I've always found it kind of like odd that Brother Love was really like the Undertaker's manager when the Undertaker debuted. I mean, just considering that Brother Love, like he just like his character and personality was like completely different from the Undertaker, like, yeah, I just found it kind of odd that he was the Undertaker's manager. I mean, yeah, and I guess that's probably a lot of people who did like see it the same way because yeah, of course, like it didn't really last too long because of course, but like shortly after this, like Paul Bear then did become the Undertaker's manager, and yeah, Paul Bear was like much more fitting, seeing as how he had a very similar gimmick as the Undertaker did. So yeah, so that didn't last too long with Brother Love, yeah. And yeah, when Undertaker made his entrance, yeah, Undertaker did like walk to the ring like faster than he has been known to, where he like has walked to the ring in like relatively slow. So yeah, but yeah, given that this was Undertaker's first night, like they probably really didn't know, or probably just like trying stuff out with him and stuff, and they really didn't like really make him like the dead man that he's known as now, where he's like was walking like as a dead person. So yeah, plus yeah, you also had like Roddy Piper on commentary with Gorilla Monsoon at the show, and yeah, yeah, Roddy Piper during Undertaker's entrance was like, look at the size of that ham hock, yeah. Yeah, and then Undertaker when he got in the ring, yeah, he took off like the coat and the hat pretty quickly too. Yeah, and they even showed like a couple fans hands like just as Undertaker was in the ring. Yeah, and yeah, they just had very blank expressions on their faces, like they just didn't know what to think of the Undertaker. Yeah, and something else I found kind of interesting about this was that like rather than like wearing like the traditional, well, wearing the gray gloves that the Undertaker did wear in his first few years in the company, yeah, Undertaker just like wore like just black gloves for this match, which I found kind of interesting. Yeah, and then yeah, and so yeah, the Undertaker started it off, and then yeah, it was like Bret Hart he started off with, I think. Yeah, and then Koko B. Ware was the first one eliminated in the match, and just like a minute and a half in, after the Undertaker gave him a tombstone. And then it was like back, just yeah, other guys just got involved in the match, and yeah, everyone was just getting tagged in and out in the match. Yeah, something else that was really like kind of interesting in this match was that yeah, just like a little bit like before like this show, well yeah, just like the night before the show, like Bret Hart's brother Dean had actually died. So yeah, so Owen Hart really wasn't the first Hart brother to die. Like Dean Hart had died just like the night before the show. So yeah, so in this match, like Bret Hart was like kind of like putting on a little mini tribute for Dean in the match, which was kind of which was pretty interesting to see. Yeah, 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 and then and just throughout the match, like just it kind of just went back and forth, people tagging in and out. Yeah, eventually the Honky Tonk Man ended up getting eliminated by Jim Neidhart. Yeah, then Ted DiBiase then eliminated Jim Neidhart. Yeah, and then eventually the Undertaker ended up getting tagged in again, and then yeah, the Undertaker then and like eliminated Dusty Rhodes after like the Undertaker gave like a double axe handle or something to Dusty Rhodes from the top turnbuckle, and then yeah, that ended up eliminating Dusty Rhodes. Yeah, and then after Undertaker eliminated Dusty Rhodes, Undertaker like threw Dusty Rhodes over the top rope out of the ring. Then as Dusty Rhodes was just like on the floor, then Brother Love then was just like starting to attack Dusty Rhodes, and then yeah, the Undertaker then ended up like tagging in Greg Valentine, I think it was. Dusty Rhodes then like started to like go after Brother Love, and then the Undertaker then like just then went after Dusty Rhodes and just attacked him up the entranceway. Yeah, but then the bell then just ended up ringing, and then yeah, Howard Finkel then announced that the Undertaker had been counted out. Like what? Like Undertaker was not even like the legal man in the match, so how are you going to count him out? So yeah, that just doesn't make any sense. It really does remind me of like what happened at Survivor Series 1994, or with like Shawn Michaels, Diesel, Owen Hart, Jim Neidhart, and Jeff Jarrett were like, as Diesel was going after Shawn Michaels, the rest of the guys that tried to restore order, and then they all ended up getting counted out together. Like, how does that even make sense? Like, how are you going to count out the people that aren't even legal in the match? And that's the case here too with the Undertaker. Like, the Undertaker was not even the legal guy in the match, so how can he be counted out? So so that really didn't make any sense. But the Undertaker ended up being counted out. So he got eliminated, but it wasn't like in a clean fashion, like not like a legitimate elimination with somebody like pinning him or anything. So so I guess it was a good way to really protecting the Undertaker from a loss on his first night. Right? Well, he wasn't going to survive. I mean, I thought like probably it would have been a good idea for him to survive in this match, and then maybe he could have like gotten like a count out finish or something in the finale match. But I guess like since like they were going to have like 5 guys on the heel team in the finale match, and since the Undertaker was new, they didn't want to do that. I don't know. But anyway, and then Bret Hart then was able to eliminate a Greg Valentine, and then it was down to Bret Hart and Ted DiBiase, and they went at it for a few minutes, and Bret Hart was then getting the upper hand on Ted DiBiase in the match. Then Virgil then like tried to get involved at one point, and as Virgil was on the ring apron, he then like was holding Bret Hart to try to help Ted DiBiase get him, but then as Ted DiBiase was charging at Bret Hart as Virgil was holding him, Bret Hart like was able to move out of the way, and Ted DiBiase accidentally hit Virgil. But Ted DiBiase like was able to survive that, and then the ending of the match, you had like Bret Hart like attempting a cross body or something on Ted DiBiase, but Ted DiBiase was able to roll through it and pin Bret Hart. So Ted DiBiase got the win, and he was the survivor for this match. And then Ted DiBiase would advance to the grand finale match at the end of the show. So this I guess was a pretty good match overall. Plus it is also memorable for being Undertaker's debut match with the company. So I would probably give this match probably like 3 1/4. So it's a pretty good match and a pretty well paced. And Undertaker's debut also does give it some fame as well. So like I said, as a whole, I wouldn't really recommend watching Survivor Series 1990 because, the rest of the show really isn't all that good. I mean, like I said, most of the matches are okay, but they're not really matches that do stand out. But if you do want a highlight of the show and see what is the best thing about it, of course, like with Undertaker's debut, but even like with the match itself, well, if you want to see something from the Survivor Series, I'd probably recommend this. So don't avoid this, but if you do want to see something from it, this is the best match to check out. Alright. So I guess that's all I can really say about it. So a nice debut for The Undertaker. Alright. So I guess that's all I can really say about it. So this is my review of Undertaker's debut match at Survivor Series 1990. So I hope you guys did enjoy this review, and there is like another review I want to make of another certain Undertaker match from Survivor Series. So that's going to be coming up next, so stay tuned for that. But I hope you guys did enjoy this review, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.